Hi, this is Che again, and I'm back with the video again, and I want to this time make it even much clearer by showing certain images and stuff like that, so that you can, have a clearer view or image in your mind when it comes to the explanation I was giving, right? So, that's why I'm doing this video, and here is it. This is at least you guys seen what it looks like before, but what I did not show is the various type of Linux distros, right? And the reason why this would be different, and you know, so this is my Arch Linux. It's right. It says right over here. That's my operating system. This is the motherboard, the kernel. The kernel is like the main thing that is called Linux. It's like the the main skeleton, and like the spinal cord and the entire nervous system, and that's what it looks like, in the computer, right? And there are other groups that have let's say, that produce other softwares to fit into the the skeleton to make it like a full body, right? And that part of it is called GNU, right? So usually it should have been GNU Linux, but Linux is easier to pronounce, so it has taken over the whole thing, as the whole body is called Linux instead, right? I hope you understand that analogy. Now, come to the shell. The shell is like both interfaces between the kernel and the user. So now the user is able to type certain things on the command line, and it's sent to the kernel, right? If the shell wasn't there, what would happen is you would have to write a code, and be able to access the kernel, and not a lot of people can do that, right? So this is why we have the shell, and with the shell, trust me, there's always variants and options that you can use. This is the born again shell, the bash shell, and there are other shells that can be used, as the ZSH and the regular shell, and then you have the fish and FISH as well. There are other shells that can be used. This is resolution, telling you I have two monitors. But this is the main thing that I want to talk about, which is the Windows Manager, right? So Windows Manager is basically a part of, if you would have had a desktop, what was going to produce Windows for you to be able to interact with the softwares that will be the applications that you would see, right? And when you have a desktop, there's a difference. I mean, like, there's so many ways that you can handle these let's say Windows, right? But because there's a lot more programming in there, there's a lot more files, there's a lot more um, what do you call it, softwares that are added to that for all those things to be happening, right? But when it comes to the Windows Manager, it's very lightweight software, so that you don't experience the bloatness of the desktop environment. When you go to the desktop environment, you have so many softwares. Some of them you never ever use, but they're still there, still pulling from the resources of your computer. And especially people, like, people that use their computer for heavy lifting, as in gaming and virtualization and stuff like that. They don't want their computer to be busy whilst they're doing their thing, right? So they would rather move to a situation where they have less um, thing pulling on your resources, whilst you're doing the main things that you want to do with the computer, right? So I hope you understand, and that's why people prefer it because they want performance over, you know, over the computer being um, hoarded by, unnecessary programs that you may never use, right? Or hogged by those things. So yeah, and it is telling you the details of my, my computer, my CPU, which is the brain of the computer. GPU is the graphics card that is being used to produce this graphics, and the memory is what stores the data that you're working on, right? So if I'm working on this page, and there are other page also open, they're stored in my memory. So as soon as I go for them now, the processor can start working on them, right? So that's what it is. So let me show you the example of how i3 works. So now if I open another terminal, right, you see now it's making them share space equally on my monitor real estate, right, on my display space, right? So, and if I open another one, look at what's going to happen equally, and that's what's is happening. That's i3 doing that for me, right? So the essence of it is that nothing is hiding. So I'm not gonna forget that, oh, I had something running on the background and I forgot. There's nothing like that for i3, right? So let's say I could be doing certain, installing upgrades over here, whilst over here I'm editing something. I'm editing something over here, right? So maybe watching YouTube on this side as well, right? So that's the essence of the i3 that we were talking about, right? And I mentioned the distros. The distros is like the flavor, right? The flavors of Linux. And let me go there and show you a few. So right now I'm in. Let me show you a distro. So let's say Linux distros. Actually, mainly what it is distribution, and that's what it's called. We call it distro in short forms. It makes it easier for the tongue, I guess. Um, so we can view this, right? So there are a lot of flavors out there, but these are some of the main ones that you would see. Red Hat is the one that I'm actually working on, studying for the exam, right? And then Fedora is coming out from Red Hat. These three are linked together, and they are mostly for enterprise, right? But Fedora is similar to these one, but Fedora is good, also good for workstation, just like regular desktop. But the Red Hat systems are usually for more enterprise, and CentOS usually for enterprise, like data centers and stuff like that, right? Companies, when you're working, Ubuntu is usually for desktop, even though you can still use them for enterprise, but I see a lot more people using it for their desktop. Kali, on the other hand, is for pen testing. So it's more used for hacking and, you know, white hat or black hat. It's used for that. SUSE is also on the enterprise side. Debian is between enterprise and, you know, um, desktop or workstation, right? And there are so many other Linux that are used for different things. There are some that are used for airport monitors, for AI, for robots, physical robots, operating system for robots, and um, so many things, cars, whatever, because it's free and the source code is available. People take it and then they use it. Once they use it, they also bring it back to the community, and the community also work on it to improve it. And so this is this has what has been happening over the years. Now Linux has become so reliable that a lot of companies, you know, starting to use it more and more and more and more, and it's becoming what is causing technology to move that fast, because when the community comes together, someone will, bring an idea and create something better, and then, it will be used, in certain technologies, and all of a sudden it becomes like a household name or technology that everybody uses, even Windows as well. Right. So now that we have an idea what the distros are, we can go back and we can go we can go back and talk more about the room for customization, right? So let me bring this page here, right? So Linux, as I said before, has a kernel. The kernel is like the most important, part of it, and also you have options of what kernel you want to use. Now they have the system libraries, you have the system utilities, and the more you come down the chain, the more customizations can be done, because the customization gets easier when you're coming down the chain, um, right? So um, as I said before, the desktop environment, you have options. Display manager, you have options. So there are so many options out there that this is not all the options. I was just giving you examples, right? So there's so many other options, right, that can be used. So everything in Linux is 100% customizable, and that's why you're able to use it for different things, and still you know uh, able to improve upon what's been um, done. Because once you have an improvement of what you're doing, and you're sending out there for, you know the community to assess it, and even give you more ideas, and help improve it. So it's like, you know community work, right? And then when people put their heads together, it just makes things better. So now, um, as I was saying, the Red Hat is what I have been using, right? And so I would show you what it looks like. So this is what I'm showing you right now is my lab for studying, because I have to write my exam. So um, this is Red Hat. So though right now we are physically on the Arch system, but there's something called SSH. SSH is like a um, remote a system that gives you access to other computers. So it's a remote access to computers, right? And that's what I've done to come to this place, right? And I can practice from here, the things that I was doing, right? So when I said Ansible, this is what I mean. So Ansible all, and I do a module. I pick up a module that I can use, and then I'd say an example is ping. So I say Ansible, and this is my host. I'm saying ping all my hosts. Ping means like today we're talking about sonars, right? So ping means send a message to figure out whether the computers are alive and they're there, and if they respond, it means they're ready to communicate, right? So, and I say, yeah, ping all, and when I enter, it's going to give me a feedback with every one of the computers that are in my lab, and if they respond, it means I get a success. So yes, the fact that it's green means that I got success. So it says the, it's sent to ping, and you receive the pong, which means which means that I got replied, right? So I have server 3, responded. Server 1 also responded. Server 4 responded. Server 2 also responded. And the controller itself, which is the one I'm on, also respond because I sent the ping to all of them, right? And server 10 is a Ubuntu. It's not Red Hat, but Ubuntu. Server 11 is also Fedora, and they're all responding, right? So just that's just a gist, right? And it's not just what I'm learning now. It's not just the commands that I have to do, but I also have to learn how to write what's it called, playbook, right? So there are other playbooks that I wrote. They're over here, and I can do them. Let's say new user, right? So this is a playbook I wrote to create a user, right? And the necessary stuff that comes with creating a user, right? And this user, I want him to have access to all everything that the root user also has access to. And I'm saying that I don't want to type any password because it's a lab. I can do that, right? So that's what I did. So now if I go back and now I do Ansible dash playbook, and then I do new user, you know, I started to, you know, do the operation, and it's going to do that on all the lab computers or the servers, right? So it's working, automating. So instead of me, we have a problem. So, but I'm not even doing that. Anyways, oh, that's not what I even was trying to do. I mean, new user. That's not what I was trying to do. So yeah, I was meant to do this instead, right? So it's saying something like over here. It's not an error. It's just saying that there's something that I use in there and will soon be deprecated. Deprecation means that um, it's not going to be used after a while. So it's warning me ahead of time. But everything was done perfectly, you know. So at this point, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 computers or clients or manage devices on here, right? But it makes it it makes it let's say with these it's just 7, so it's not much, right? I can actually go to these computers and do it manually, right? But this is faster. Just imagine when you have about 20, or not 20, but like 2,000 servers to do this thing on. Are you going to go to all of them and try to do all this, all the commands that I had in there individually? You know, um, like you're going to go to all the computers and type all these commands inside and do all those things? No, you're not going to do that. And that's what Ansible has made it possible, that once I'm on this computer, I can reach so many other computers as long as they are within my inventory. And we can, you know, this is my inventory. And I don't want to go too detailed, but I just wanted to give you a gist of what I was talking about, right? So this is basically it. And I know, yeah, it's gonna go over your heads right now, uh, but that's okay. But I was just giving you a taste or an idea of what Linux is really about, right? So even when you look at the top over here, this is customized, right? Um, the prompt that you see here is also customized, right? So we can customize, we can even change it right now if we want, um, over here, right? Yeah, you see, it changed because I wanted to change it, right? So Linux is so customizable. It's fully customizable, and as I was saying, with the um, top bar, right? Um, there's a place, there's a place that I can go also to change that, right? So if I do, let's say vim.config polybar config ini, so every detail in here is what's causing you to see the top bar, right? So everything is configured for you to have what you have when it comes to Arch Linux and using i3 instead of using the desktop. Yes. So that's it. For more questions, we can, talk more later. Thank you.